Here we are in Romans 12. I've been anxious to get here. Who knows how many messages I'm going to give in Romans 12? A lot. Who knows? But anyway, Romans 12 marks a new section in Romans. Its foundation is Romans chapters 1 through 11, which explains justification by faith. Romans 12 through 16, though, it describes the culture of a true church, and it explains the various issues that show up in the fabric of the church. But it's focused on this. What does it look like when people love one another in the church? Well, the problem is people in the true church, and this is a letter written to a true church, the church in Rome, the brethren. Even so, we don't always demonstrate biblical love to one another the way that God has designed. That's why Paul starts with an urgent plea. I beseech you, therefore, brethren. This is a serious matter. These verses are talking about the supernatural fellowship that exists in the Church of Jesus Christ. And it begins by taking action. Well, first of all, by recognizing the wisdom of God that governs the church. And that's communicated in chapter 11, 33 through 36. Oh, the depth of the wisdom of God. God is so wise, and so he establishes a superior culture, superior to all other cultures, and he does it in the church. And he begins by urging believers to present their bodies to God as a living sacrifice. In other words, God has authority over your body. Then he talks about how we function in the life of the church in verses 3 through 8. And then he speaks about just loving relationships in the church in verses 9 through 16. And then he talks about how to respond to people who've wronged us in verses 17 through 21. But the focus of every phrase in this chapter is what the people of God do to create a superior culture in the Church of Jesus Christ. What's so remarkable about this passage is that it centers everyone on the right things. And you have people who begin to think wrongly about relationships in the church. This chapter is here to rescue us from that. One of the things that's really interesting here is it's assumed that people will wrong you. And what do you do about it? Here's what you don't do. You don't say, I'm done with you. You don't build a website against them. You don't email them all their faults. No, you repay no one evil for evil. So all of this is a diagnostic checkup for the church and for the culture of the Church of Jesus Christ. Here's the bottom line. The authority of God in a church and in a family is something you should get up in the morning for. So, okay, here we go. We're starting off in Romans 12. The grass withers, the flower fades, but the word of our God stands forever.
Scripture Applied is a production of Church and Family Life. Visit churchandfamilylife.com for more resources.